Welcome back, everyone, to the Bears Profit Plays YouTube channel. We have made it to the weekend. Today is Saturday, August 10th, and I'm back breaking down the Saturday slate of games in the MLB. We got a couple more games we're going to be looking at, starting with the Philadelphia Phillies going up against the Arizona Diamondbacks. Then the best play of the day is a match between the Pittsburgh Pirates and the Los Angeles Dodgers. 4 total player props, and the 2 best player props being towards the end of the video. I hope everybody enjoys their weekend, and let's break down some ball. All right, guys, let's get this graphic breakdown from Friday night. 2-1 day. Brent Rooker screws us from the sweep. Brent Rooker has found himself on the ban list on this channel. He will never be mentioned again on this channel in the future. The Royals team total over 4.5 runs against the Cardinals. Going up against Miles McCollum did hit very early. I think they scored all 5 runs in the first 3 innings or 4 innings, if I'm not mistaken, and then they got shut out the rest of the game. So they did put up 5 runs against the Cardinals. Zach Wheeler, I couldn't have said this any better than the breakdown I had on Thursday night. Zach Wheeler over 4.5 hits, allowed 7 hits. I said he was going to be good enough to keep the Phillies in the game, but bad enough for the D-backs to get some hits. 7 total hits, 2 runs allowed, going 7 innings. That was a good pick there. Then again, Brent Rooker over 1.5 bases was the only one that we did not cash. And then the graphic plays, we can just forget about those. Red Sox money line going up against the Astros, 3-1 the first 2 innings. And then I think the Red Sox didn't get another hit from the 3rd inning to the 8th inning. And this Red Sox team, best in baseball in extra base hits after the All-Star break, best in baseball at hits per game after the All-Star break. Not sure what happened in innings 3 through 7, but they did lose that game by 4. Rafael Devers over 1.5 bases, had a lot of chances to put some runs on the board for the Red Sox in clutch situations and struck out both times. And then Salvador Perez over 1.5 bases, only had a single going up against Miles McCollum, and I believe was the 3rd inning. So that one did not hit as well. But let's take a look at the leaderboard. 1-0 on the game picks, 1-1 on the player props, 2-1 on Friday night, 36-25 year to date since the All-Star break. So 11 games above 500. Still looking for that sweep. Haven't had a sweep in a couple days. So we're going to try to get it right here on Saturday afternoon. For the first play of the day, it's going to be a match between the Phillies and the Arizona Diamondbacks. I like both these teams this season. I think you can place a bet on both of them right now to win the World Series. I think that would be a really good bet to have in your back pocket. They might meet each other again in the NL Finals this year. They're both playing some pretty good baseball right now. They had a really competitive game last night, 3-2. The bats for both sides have been hot besides last night, so I'm going to take them over 8.5 runs in this game as the play. We do have these so-called aces on the mound for both sides, but I'm not too worried about that because both of these guys have not been pitching to their standards on the season. Both Zach Gallen and Aaron Nola do have some pretty good numbers, but over the last several games, especially Zach Gallen, he's not been himself. We are going to start with him, and the one thing that I have noticed about him over the last couple games especially has been his control problems. I watch the Diamondbacks a lot, maybe the second most of any team in baseball besides the Nationals, and Zach Gallen has given up way too many free passes over the last 5 games. He's given up a total of 12 walks over the last 4 games, and he's still able to go 6 innings that he normally goes, but he's just giving up too big of numbers for the free passes. In his last game going up against the Guardians, he was bad all the way around, giving up 8 hits, 5 runs, walking 2. And in a game against the Pirates and the Blue Jays a while back, he gave up 3+ runs in both of those games, 6 runs to the Blue Jays in total, having combined 5 walks in both those games. He's now coming in with a 3.75 ERA after starting July with a 2.83 ERA. And those are his worst numbers of his career besides a year in 2021. He has been a very dominant arm in baseball for his entire career dating back to 2019. But for some reason, things just aren't going his way right now. And it's probably not going to get any easier going up against the Phillies. They're one of the top teams in baseball at hitting the ball this season. On the other side, Aaron Nola's coming off a rough start going against the Dodgers, where he gave up 8 hits, 4 runs to them, now having 4 of his last 7 games giving up 3+ runs. Again, both these guys that typically don't have those kind of bad nights, but both of them have been struggling over the last several games. Nola, he's now coming in with a 3.54 ERA, and overall his numbers, they are very good on the season, but just something over the last couple games, it's been a little bit off. He has been giving up a few too many walks, 3+ walks in 2 of the last 3 games, and he's also giving up way too many hits, 6+ hits now in 4 consecutive, and the Diamondbacks, they're going to make you pay if you give up too many hits and walks. They're the best hitting team in baseball, putting up the most runs per game. I like the over in this one, 8.5 runs as the play. For the player prop on the screen, we're going to be taking Kyle Schwarber to go over 1.5 bases because he is addicted to hitting home runs over the last several days. Zach Gallen, he typically is not a guy who's going to give up a lot of home runs, only having 8 total on the season and 19 games played. But if anybody can hit one off of him, it's going to be Kyle Schwarber. He doesn't necessarily have to hit one in this game. I'm just looking for an extra base hit in this one. But Kyle, he has been extra hot at the plate. This is going to be a right-handed match for Kyle, so a left-on-right battle. and surprisingly, he does not hit very well going up against right-handed pitching. He has a batting average of 216, but he also has 27 extra base hits, including 17 home runs. Over the last 5 games that Kyle has been in, he's collected a total of 12 hits, 3 doubles, 5 home runs going up against the D-backs and the Dodgers. I like him in this game to stay hot over 1.5 bases as the first graphic play there. For the best play of the day, we're going to be looking at the Pittsburgh Pirates going up against the Los Angeles Dodgers. The best pitcher in baseball, he's going to be back on the mound with Paul Skeens going for the Pirates, going up against River Ryan and the Dodgers. River Ryan is a fantastic name altogether. Doesn't matter if it's in baseball or just a guy walking down the street that you just happen to meet. And we're going to see if his career pans out because I really hope it does. Having a name like that, it's setting yourself up for success. He's a rookie this season for the Dodgers, has 1 win, no loss on the year, and he's only given up 3 runs in 3 games going up against the Athletics, Astros, and Giants. This could be another test for him going up against the Pittsburgh Pirates, who haven't been the best bats this season, but they're definitely not the worst. They're right in the middle of the pack this season in baseball. The numbers for Ryan, he did give up 2 runs in his last game going up against the Athletics, giving up 5 hits, and he didn't make it to the 5th inning in that game either. He did, however, go 5+ innings in the first 2 games going up against the Giants and the Astros, only giving up 6 total hits in those 2 games and 1 run. He has a 1.72 ERA so far, and he is pitching well without me not seeing him with the eyeball test. I'm going to watch him in this game, and I'm hoping that the Pittsburgh Pirates will be able to put something on the board because I'm going to take them here on the first 5 money line as the play. Anytime that you can get Paul Skeens on the money line in the first 5 at basically even money, you need to go ahead and grab that, even if it is going up against the Dodgers. This has been the most impressive rookie I think baseball has ever seen as a starting pitcher, having a 1.99 ERA, only going 11 total games before being named the starting pitcher in the All-Star game. He's now gone 14 games in total. He has given up a total of 19 runs, having 6 wins, 1 losses on the season. In his last game, he did have a tough matchup going up against the D-backs. That's the best hitting team in baseball, like I mentioned before. He was perfect through 5 innings, working through everybody. And then in the 6th inning, he ran into a little bit of trouble, couldn't get himself out of that jam, allowed a couple runs in that game. But the numbers for Paul Skeens on the season, they've been fantastic. He hasn't given up more than 2 runs in 10 consecutive games, and I'm pretty sure that goes back even farther. He has been facing off against some really tough opponents over the last couple games, and the Dodgers, they should be a tough opponent as well, but I think he's going to be just fine. Everything that Paul throws is disgusting, and he's throwing some heat this season as well. He has also hardly given up any runs in the first 5 innings of any of his starts this season. So I'm hoping that the Pirates can get us at least 1 run on the board, take them on the money line. That might be all we need for this one to cash. I'm going to take Paul Skeens to carry us here with the Pittsburgh Pirates. First 5 money line as the play there. For the player prop on the screen, we're going to be taking Bryan Reynolds in this game over 1.5 bases going up against the Dodgers and Ryan River. Bryan Reynolds, he's a switch hitter. I love taking switch hitters in major leagues. I can always get the matchup that I want. Bryan also has been the best hitter in Pittsburgh the entire season. He has a 287 batting average. He's been really good at the plate over the last 6 games as well, collecting 3 multi-hit games. That's going to be a right-hander on the mound, and Ryan Rivers against that right side this season. Bryan Reynolds has a 292 batting average, 14 home runs, 17 doubles, 3 triples. He's been very good this season collecting extra base hits going up against the right side. I like him in this game with another extra base hit, over 1.5 base as the play there. Let's go over to the best props of the day. We're going to be looking at a familiar face with this one. Give me Jerkson Profar of the Padres to go over 1.5 bases going up against the Marlins. Profar has been really kind to us in the past, and I'm hoping that he does the same thing in this game because we're getting another friendly matchup on the mound with Roddery Munoz going for the Miami Marlins. The numbers for him this season have been very bad in his rookie year. He's coming in with a 5.68 ERA, a 1.45 whip, and he's been giving up way too many hits over the last several games. Over just the last 3 games, he's given up 14 runs, 12 earned runs, 6 home runs, and 17 hits to the Reds, the Tampa Bay Rays, and the Baltimore Orioles. He's been struggling all season long to gain any confidence on the mound, and I don't think he's going to get any more confident in this game going up against the Padres, who are the best hitting team in baseball against right-handed pitching. I love Profar in this game because mainly he's the best player on this team handling that fastball. We're going to see Roddery throw the fastball and the cutter nearly 50% of the time in this game, and those are the 2 best pitches that Profar has hit on the season going up against that fastball. 298 batting average against the cutter, 353 batting average. It's also going to be a good match because he is a switch hitter, which again I love. And against the right-handed pitching this season, he has a batting average of 283, 26 extra base hits. He hasn't been great over the last couple games, even though he did pick up a couple hits yesterday. I expect him to get back to his normal self, get himself back on the board with a couple more base hits again in this one against Munoz. The numbers for him in this game, they're going to be really good for what Munoz is throwing. So I love the play here. Over 1.5 bases for him as the batting prop. For the pitching prop tonight, we're going back to the most profitable pitcher in MLB history. It's going to be the homemade bread with some freshly churned butter. Patrick Corbin back on the mound for the Nationals, over 2.5 runs going up against the Angels. The Angels on the season, they have the least experience going up against left-handed pitching on the year. I don't think that's going to matter going up against Patrick Corbin because, again, not me saying this. This is the stats on the season. He is mathematically and statistically the worst starting pitcher in the MLB. While being the absolute worst starting pitcher in the MLB, he is being paid like he's the third best pitcher in Major League Baseball, having a massive contract for the Nationals. He's going to go out there like he does every single game, and if we're lucky, give us 5 innings of work because the more he's out there, the better chance we have of him blowing up an inning. Sometimes, whenever he's really on his A game, in form, we'll see him give up 8 runs in the first inning like we saw against the Diamondbacks a couple starts ago, but most of the time we have to wait till the 5th inning. The Angels on the season, while they haven't had a lot of experience, they are hitting lefties 253 on the year, which is very good for them. The Angels are also great at hitting the sinker, and they're very powerful against the slider. And I went back and looked at why Patrick Corbin has fallen off a cliff. Back in 2019, Patrick Corbin had a slider that was plus 25 run value. It was the best slider in baseball since 2017 to 2019. He had a total combined plus run value through 3 seasons of plus 66 through all those seasons with the slider, giving up a batting average between 145 and 191. That is an elite level pitch. He then got paid. He then went to the Nationals. Since 2020, we saw the first drop off of that slider. Plus 5 run value, still decent. 2021, minus 4 run value. 2022, minus 23 run value. I'm not sure how it happened, but he went from having the best pitch in baseball to getting absolutely tattooed by anything that can breathe in the batter's box. I understand that the Angels, they don't hit the ball very well, but it doesn't take a lot putting up 3 runs against Patrick. He has given up 3+ runs in 6 of the last 7 games, including a total of 15 runs and 20 hits over the last 2 games. 15 runs, 20 hits over the last 2 games. Give me Patrick Corbin, over 2.5 runs. That's the play. Let's go over to the graphic recap for tomorrow. We're going to be taking the Phillies and the D-backs, over 8.5 runs. Kyle Schwarber, over 1.5 bases going up against the D-backs. Brian Reynolds, over 1.5 bases going up against the Dodgers. I like the Pirates here on the first 5 money line with Paul Skeens on the mound. Patrick Corbin, over 2.5 runs going up against the Angels. And Jurickson Profar, over 1.5 bases going up against Roddery Munoz and the Marlins. Guys, that's going to do it for the MLB picks and props for Saturday, August 10th slate of games. If you guys enjoyed the content, please sure to drop a like in this video and subscribe to the channel below. See you guys next video, and thanks for watching.